It's October 10 in the year 2025. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning News. And this is the first bulletin of the day. This bulletin, of course, is coming to you live from our studios here at Adisawe Kanda. And we're live on Facebook as TV3 Ghana and on DSTV as channel 279. My name is George Queen. And top of the stories is that. Bribery allegation hits the computerized school placement system as some officers are accused of demanding between 20,000 and 35,000 before posting students to their preferred schools. New Patriotic Party flagged by hopefuls to pick ballot positions later today. Also coming up this morning, over 250,000 Ghanaians are suffering from various forms of blindness as there's a shortage of eye doctors. Well, we have details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 20 minutes. If you spend your time with me, you can also get interactive with us. We're live on Facebook, TV3 Ghana. And our prosecutors in the murder trial of immigration officer Stephen Kinamwa have told the Adabraka District Court that they are awaiting results of a forensic report in order to forward to the Attorney General for advice. With the case, which has been ongoing for the past 2 months, has already ignited anger from family members of the victim who are lamenting about its slow pace. Here's a report by Lord Iduasari.
Bright Hour and Thomas Ziga are facing multiple charges of murder and conspiracy to commit crime for their alleged roles in the killing of Stephen King Amwa, a 38-year-old immigration officer. According to the prosecution's brief facts of the case, Stephen was reported missing on July 3, 2025 after leaving home to meet a friend at a Shoman estate. His charred body was later discovered on July 9 at Abuom Junction near Kwabenya, sparking a manhunt and an intensive police investigation. The accused person's pleas are yet to be taken at the Adabraka District Court. In court on Thursday, October 9, the prosecution indicated that they had completed the investigations but needed more time as they await the forensic reports and comprehensive cause of death of the slain immigration officer. They added that the case dockets will be forwarded to the Attorney General for advice upon receipt of the report. Lawyers for the second accused did not oppose except to add that the prosecution should be compelled to stick to the timelines. Family members of the immigration officer have decried the continuous adjournment of the case.
They are always parading him back and forth from the court. What with all the adjournment, if they can't handle the case at the district court, they should take it to the higher court.
The case has since been adjourned to October 22nd, by which time the court will expect the Attorney General to provide direction on the way forward regarding this case. We'll be back then and provide more details on the matter. Lord Iduasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Well, let's just stay at the court. The Accra High Court has remanded 10 armed robbery suspects to 2 weeks in police custody. According to the prosecution, these suspects belong to a syndicate and are allegedly responsible for robberies in 5 regions: Ashanti, Western, Eastern, Central, and Ahafo regions. They are facing charges, including conspiracy to commit crime and robbery. Here's a report again by Lord Iduasari.
The accused persons totaling 12 include Kwesi J, alias Cobra, Ibrahim Al-Hassan, Samuel Apia, Francis Akwa, David Obobi, Martin Akansina, Nanaya Frimpong, Kojo Atengao, Samuel Akwesijan, and Stephen Say were arraigned before the court on Thursday, October 9. The rest, Kwabna Uswansa and Kwame Setre, are currently at large. When the case was called, the prosecution led by David Beecham prayed for the suspects to be remanded for 2 weeks, citing that the accused persons used offensive weapons in the operations. He indicated that the accused persons had committed armed robberies in 13 banks in 5 regions across the country, namely Ashanti, Western, Central, Eastern, and Ahafo regions, resulting in the death of a police officer. In his closing remarks, the Assistant State Attorney argued that if granted bail, they would not appear before the court. Lawyers for the accused persons, however, disagreed. They pleaded with the court to grant their clients bail since they are innocent until proven guilty and they had already been on remand in the custody of the police. Presiding Judge Kizita Nakua Kwashi, after hearing arguments from both counsel, noted that the court is not satisfied that the accused persons who have been arraigned for the serious offense of armed robbery will come to stand trial if granted bail. The case has been adjourned to October 22.
Well, away from the courts, allegations of corruption have once again cast a shadow over Ghana's computerized school placement system. This time, the General Secretary of the Construction and Building Materials Workers Union, Richard Asamoah, is blowing the whistle on what he calls a bribery syndicate operating within the placement unit. Speaking with our Labour Affairs correspondent, Daniel Opoku, he explained that some of the officers are collecting between 20,000 to 35,000 cedis to repost students to their preferred schools. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education is set to invite the General Secretary to collaborate with investigations.
The Construction and Building Materials Workers Union, an affiliate of the Trades Union Congress, is accusing some officers at the computerized school placement unit of extorting money from parents to repost students to their preferred schools. According to the union's General Secretary, Richard Asamoah, officers are allegedly demanding between 20,000 and 35,000 cedis before making such changes.
Paying as huge as 20,000 to 35,000. The masters, they know. If we say we are worshiping God, we believe in God, and we do this to our fellow, it's not the best. The child has qualified all right. He has passed. You want to refuse of the right of the person. It is not good. So I would say that it is time we all sit up. The top hierarchies in the country, we know what is happening. We better come out because it will not help us. We are selling and degrading our own motherland. And it is going to be worse than even the Galamsey if we don't look at this.
Asamoah says the union is ready to cooperate fully with any investigation the Ministry of Education initiates and wants swift action taken against those found culpable.
I'm ready to appear before them. I must come out. I am ready to give them the evidence. I'm ready. Though the parents are saying that, but I'm ready to do that. And then what is happening? People are just suffering for nothing. So how? 25,000? Abba.
The press secretary to the Minister of Education, Hashimin Mohammed, has acknowledged the allegations and says the ministry will invite him to collaborate with investigations.
Be very glad to engage him so that he can furnish us with the evidence that he has. I think we have been looking for such an evidence so that we can get someone to use him as an example, so that if indeed such a thing really do exist, it will be, we can use it as an example to punish people to desist from doing that.
He said the ministry will not condone any act of bribery and corruption.
The many allegations that have come forward, and we have contacted the people raising those allegations, they have not been able to come forward with evidence to aid us investigate. And we ourselves, we have also put internal mechanisms to ensure that there is meritorious application of the placement system.
Ghana's computerized school placement system has faced numerous criticisms in recent years, ranging from technical hitches to allegations of favoritism and bribery. These fresh claims have once again raised concerns about transparency and fairness in the placement process. The ministry says a full investigation is underway and is urging parents and the general public to report any suspicious activity during the placement period. Stakeholders are calling for urgent reforms to restore public confidence in the placement system.
So according to the chairman of the Workers Builders Union, it's going to be worse than Galamsey if this is not addressed. Let's know what you also make of allegations regarding the CSSPFs. We are active on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. Hopefully your engagement or your opinions will be shared to the rest of the world. And now the 5 presidential hopefuls of the opposition New Patriotic Party are to participate in a balloting exercise later today to determine their positions on the ballot paper for the upcoming January 31 presidential primary. This marks another step in the party's effort to rebuild after a decisive loss in the 2024 general elections. The 5 aspirants are former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Dr. Yaosei Duchum, and Ken Ohine Japan, Dr. Bwene Champon, and Engineer Kwame J. Japan. All 5 aspirants successfully passed the vetting process, clearing the way for what observers anticipate will be a competitive contest. The MPP is seeking to elect a flag bearer who can lead the party back to power in the 2028 general elections after a monumental defeat in the 2024 national elections, where John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress won with 57% of the votes. The upcoming primary on January 31, 2026 will shape the political landscape ahead of the 2028 elections, with observers noting that the party must unite behind a strong candidate to mount an effective challenge against the governing NDC. The stakes are particularly high given the fractures within the MPP after the electoral defeat and the need to rebuild the party. In more news this morning, over 250,000 Ghanaians are living with blindness and another 350,000 suffer from visual impairment. Experts blame the rising numbers on a shortage of specialists and the high cost of eye care.
Currently has 141 ophthalmologists, serving a population of over 30 million.
The challenge is not merely medical, it is a systemic issue. But many of our eye care professionals and facilities are concentrated within urban cities or centers, leaving the rural communities underserved. For countless Ghanaians, the distance, the cost, or absence of specialized personnel still remains something that we need to work towards.
At the launch of the 2025 World Sight Day, one key proposal is to expand the National Health Insurance Scheme to cover spectacles for children.
There's a need for a national, program where, we can have the glasses on the NHI benefit package, at least for the children, because it's not for luxury, it's for their education. Some of them are not doing well, not because they are lazy, but it's just because they cannot see. Some of the facilities do not have the adequate equipment. If you talk about operating microscope, some of the facilities don't have operating microscope, and there's a need for all these hospitals facilities to be well equipped.
Healthcare practitioners are calling for action to tackle the conditions of service and address the critical shortage of personnel.
We have a long way to go, to be honest, because we don't have enough ophthalmologists. We are only 141 serving the population, and most of us are in either Kumasi or Accra or the regional hospitals, because that's where we get access to the instruments and the amenities to work with. So I will encourage government to prioritize eye care. The instruments are quite pricey, so that we get equal distribution of ophthalmologists even across the region.
Governments should invest in the public sector, absorb the optometrists into the public sector, invest and purchase the equipment that's needed. Some are very affordable, it doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and it can be procured.
Global productivity losses from poor eye care are estimated at $411 billion annually, with Ghana losing millions of cedis each year. The Ministry of Health says government has officially included eye health in the National Health Policy, a move aimed at improving services nationwide. Stakeholders are calling for stronger political will and increased investment to reduce preventable blindness and ensure every Ghanaian has access to essential vision care.
Another promise, another visit, but will it finally bring results? The people of La are once again being assured that their long-awaited hospital will be completed. The Minister for Health on Thursday toured the reconstruction site of the La General Hospital and pledged that funds will soon be released to accelerate the stalled project. Health correspondent colleague Sarah Apankro has come through with this report.
General Hospital redevelopment project would probably pass as one of the controversial projects that leaves much to be desired any time it is mentioned. This is because accessing healthcare by residents of La and its environs has been a tussle for years, despite numerous promises after the demolition of the old structure in 2020. After months of change in government, their hopes of seeing the project completed was nearly dashed as they longed to see commitment by the current government. The health minister, accompanied by the member of parliament for Ladadikotopon and the municipal chief executive, visited the project site on Thursday for a familiarization tour.
So we sincerely hope that the employer can resolve the payment issues as soon as possible so that the construction can resume.
After a short briefing by the contractors, the minister and officials were taken around the project site to observe the progress made so far.
The second IPC has been raised, and the Minister of Finance is committed into ensuring that funds are released for this project to progress. I am happy that today I've come to see the workers on site, and they are willing to make progress until any payment is made. I think if everything goes on well, we should be done in the next 2 years.
Following the assurance by the minister, the contractor noted that they will be resuming work fully in the next few weeks.
They are actually on site. You've seen some of them, but obviously their full work will resume as soon as they get payment, because they need the resources to buy materials, pay workers and so on. So that would depend on how soon they are paid.
Member of Parliament for the area, Rita Na Odole Sowa, reassured her constituents government will see to the completion of the project.
We are here with the Minister of Health to give them assurance double sure, because we followed up with the Ministry of Finance, and a lot of work is going in for payment to be made shortly to enable them continue the project.
The residents can only be grateful for the government's efforts to ensure the completion of the project so they can easily access healthcare without struggle.
We are happy to see them come to the site. At least we are confident that work will resume.
This hospital has been serving both, Osu, La, Teshi, Nongwa, because it's a big hospital, and since it was demolished, everything went down and people were, suffering to get access to some health facilities.
At least,
so we only want the best. We plead that as they have shown commitment, they should find money anywhere and complete it for us.
Out of the
50 million euros needed for the project's completion, only about 12 million euros has been paid.
And away from the Greater Accra region, let's move to the Shanti region. A converted push is underway to overcome resistance to the new HPV vaccine. After some parents initially refused the life-saving shot for their children, health officials and school heads are now intensifying engagement efforts. The nationwide rollout targets children aged 9 to 14 to protect them from cervical cancer and other HPV-related diseases. Ibrahim Abubakar has this report from Kumasi on the campaign's progress.
It's day 2 of the HPV vaccination campaign in Kumasi, and the initial resistance from some parents appears to be softening. At several schools, the turnout was significant, a promising sign for public health officials. The high turnout at the State Experimental Basic School in Dakojom follows what school authorities describe as a crucial period of dialogue and reassurance with parents.
We explained the purpose of the vaccination to the parents. Even during the meeting, 4 parents could attest to the fact that they are actually experiencing cervical cancer, and they advise their colleagues that it's very important that they allow their children to take. Even I have received some calls from parents who are asking me to allow the girls to take it.
The story is similar at other schools, including Asafu AME Zion and St. Louis Demonstration Basic School. While the overwhelming response is positive, the choice by a minority of parents to opt out highlights the challenges that remains.
There are some we called and were able to explain what it's all about, and they have agreed. There are few we are still engaging, Some school heads didn't get the information to the parents early enough, so they are now still engaging the parents. Hopefully today and tomorrow, we'll be able to cover most of the schools in Kumasi.
The region is targeting over 400,000 eligible children, and the ultimate goal is to build a firewall of immunity for the next generation. The message from the top to every hesitant parent is one of assurance.
This is not the first time you are giving this vaccine in the country. A lot of people don't know. People go for it privately. It's available in some private facilities and around that people go and pay money and do. It doesn't cause infertility. It doesn't alter their sexual behavior. So we want to use this platform to allay the fears of all, genuine fears and concerns of all the parents, guardians, and the citizens, that these vaccines are safe, they have been tried and tested.
While the high turnout in Kumasi is positive, the real test will be sustaining this momentum across the entire region to ensure no child is left unprotected. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Meanwhile, Health Minister Kobina Binta-Kando is calling on parents to guardians to get the HPV vaccines for the wards to protect them against cervical cancer. His comments follows reports of some parents refusing to sign the consent forms, which enables beneficiary children in getting the jabs.
We have to begin to protect ourselves against the cancer at early stages. And Ghana is not the first country or the only country doing that. In the developed countries, even in Africa, Botswana, Rwanda, South Africa, they are all doing it. And even in Ghana, there are private people who are doing that, and we have piloted it here before. So the next stage is prevention, targeting the young girls. Then what I want to admonish all parents again is that we have made huge investment into this particular project, and it is in the interest of all of us to protect the current generation and the next generation. And so that is why I am calling on all parents and caregivers to bring their children. It's not harmful, and it is not part of any conspiracy theory to make somebody, infertile or somebody to control population or whatever. We hear this all the time, anytime we are bringing vaccines. And so we think that parents and caregivers should authorize their children to take the vaccines so that it will protect all of us against this disease.
Well, on that health note, we end today's edition of the Morning News, and this is a special congratulations to one of our presenters, Joseph Akable, who will be called to the bar later today. We wish him the very best in all his endeavors. And for more news updates, just log on to our website, it's 3news.com. Alternatively, you can join the team at 12 on News Central, Kamini Amano and Mawina Egbeta. Thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Good morning.
Keep that song. What's the sound guy? The sound guy, why we follow? This one is dedicated to all the married couples, those who intend to get married, those who have been deceived by men that they'll be married, and all those, Charlie. Don't I look good in pink? Charlie, fantastic.
Real men wear pink.
Yeah, real men. Yeah, real
all
men.
the categories.
Yeah.
Real men wear pink.
What? Breast cancer. It's breast cancer, man. You know that we launched it last week, so
yes.
Clearly the education should be on, and I think that men also should be interested in the issues of breast. I got to know how to detect lumps very early in my life. Very, very early.
How did you come by that information?
Because I was interested in health reporting. So I specialize in health and environmental reporting. So I had many doctors, particularly the female ones, teach me how to do the examination.
Did you come across any lumps? Or have you come across any lumps?
Yes, three so
during
far.
this journey?
Three so far.
Breast
three so far.
infection.
3 lumps so far.
How did you make you feel?
Three so. You know, after that detection, you have to go and have an assessment made of it, whether it's malignant or benign. And if it's bad, it means that it has to be removed. And initially, they always tell you, oh, this one, you know, be anything. But after a year or two, and that's why the consciousness for a man needs to be there, because you have to constantly be checking and then also keep reminding whoever you're dating, so that at the end of the day you have to then remind them that they need to go have them removed.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to talk about breast cancer.
Breast cancer is something I'm really passionate
all year round,
about.
because even though we talk about it in October, we wear our pink tees and we have the conversation in October, we need to remember that it's an all year round conversation.
Yeah.
And like Roland said, we need to constantly check.
Yes.
Especially when people have myths all
I was
around
real. I'm serious. So like they taught me how to do it. So you always have to lie down. Tell it. I want to experiment on this. If not that you were married, I would have. But you know, like
please, I need a
you have
shield.
to lie down.
I need a plastic shield. You see the one?
And then they do it. Oh, Charlie, that can be nice.
See,
this is
the education they are get proper education.
The way men
allowing
Roland to show us.
You know, and I saw a very deceitful story this week. I think from a medical doctor who was saying that men should not be checking.
Why?
I think one of the portals.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But the thing is, the consciousness should be at the domestic setting before you go to the hospital. Because nobody wants to go put their private parts before, especially women. They don't want to go expose their private parts unless it's necessary.
Even men won't do that.
But the fact is that,
men, we are worse. It's true. Especially, like we won't take our man who...
Roland is breast cancer awareness.
Fantastic.
So, it's possible for us to self-check, and we also need to, trumpet that message. So if we've got on our t-shirts, check it. It's possible to self-check. So it's important to learn how to do it at home. And we're told you have to do it at least once a month at some point during your cycle. Right in front of the mirror, after you take a shower, you can self-check. There are steps to do it. So
but it would be
this
nice.
information is available across the internet, all over the place. But during the month of October, a lot of health facilities do provide free breast examination and screening and subsidized mammograms. So if you don't know how to self-check and you haven't come across this information on the internet, even though it's everywhere, when you go to the hospital to have them check you, you can ask them to teach you how to do it as well, and they will. And men need to check themselves as well. Because the fact about breast cancer is that once you have breasts, you can get it. So once you have breasts, you can get it. Just that the bigger your breast tissue, the higher the probability of something like that. I don't know the actual medical term. But once you have breasts on your chest and nipples, it is possible for you to get breast cancer. So men also need to check.
So men to get breast cancer. How many
men
percent?
do get breast cancer. Well, years ago, I knew the percentage was at 3%.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what the current percentage is. We'll check, and I'm sure we can have that conversation during our breast cancer.
It would be
convo
great.
today
Yes, it would
on
be
the
great
show.
for the doctors to tell us, especially for the women, when to check. And of course, for both men and women, how to check.
Yeah.
But the women, when to check, because normally during the menstrual cycle, a lot of women experience changes in the breast, the weight, and all of that. So when you know when to check, then you don't confuse
issues.
what the situation is. Yes, I think.
Okay, women experience.
Yeah, sometimes heaviness in your breast.
Like the breast becomes bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
and
asking.
more tender.
Yeah.
Also.
Bigger and tender.
Yes.
When you're
There are
closer to
changes.
the
Well,
during the menstrual cycle.
At different points of your cycle, the way your breasts feel will change. And so, like she's saying, you have to know when to check so that you
So
don't
which time is it?
confuse.
Is it 3 days before, 2 days before?
It changes. Sometimes it is pre the menses.
Fantastic.
Other times during it, and sometimes after. I mean,
I don't know that. I don't want.
But I thought you said
Calibek
you
could just do
were
that thing. Please, let's tell us.
Authority on breast.
I thought
I'm
you said
surprised
you
you
were
don't know. But anyway.
No, I said breast. Examining breast. I
Okay.
didn't say how the breast looks like.
Okay.
I think this is so unfair. This attack on me.
It's not an attack on you, Roland. But anyway, you're welcome
Because
to the
I
show.
was
Roland, we
I was
haven't
sitting my
welcomed
somewhere. Then you said
Roland.
that the thing
But you
the thing grows
started
bigger.
Roland, it's okay.
The thing grows bigger. So I'm
okay.
asking. So when does it grow? So that I will know.
We'll provide all this
What are you going
information
to do with that
as we
information?
go.
What are you going to do
Madam,
with that information?
we haven't formally welcomed
enemies-
our people.
Okay,
Welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. You're watching TV3. This is New Day. We're starting off the day with you. And special greetings to everybody watching us, especially from the Upper West region, especially from Wa and Bosa.
The whole week they've been getting shout outs.
Yes.
My people in Wa and Bosa, I
Rafiq
send
Salam.
special greetings to you. Rafiq
Wangara.
Salam,
Ibrahim
Wangara, Aziz, everybody at Fanco Hospitality Hotel, and everybody watching us across the country and across the world. This is TV3 New Day. We have a long lineup for you, but featuring majorly on the show today would be our breast cancer conversation, as this is our breast cancer awareness month. On big issues, Roland, what are we?
Yeah. The Auditor General's report is indicating 18 billion being lost, and the good work that has been done, especially by the local, I don't know whether it's a public accounts committee or the local government committee.
Okay.
And I know that
It's
the public accounts
Committee,
committee.
yes.
Okay, so where the Pukia Soya has been doing a lot of work, and you would find that sometimes contrary to the fact, it's not the politicians who tend to misapply and then not account for public money, but rather the civil servants within the chain.
Somebody
And
mentioned
they are
it.
very pretentious about it when they appear to be well examined or inquisitioned as to why this was applied this way, or this application was not approved, or this money was embezzled, so to speak. And I think that it's something we have to talk about as a country. Why do we keep wasting the money all the time while we have key infrastructural projects and development that has still not been done?
Yesterday,
Roads
when I
are
saw
poor.
President
the
says that there has to be a fast track.
Yeah.
A fast track to install.
Yeah, so we're discussing that really.
When I
And
saw-
then in the MPP, apparently, apart from the initial money they have to pay, was it 500,000 for you to pick
4
your...
million.
Okay, now you need to raise...
4 million is for the development.
Yeah,
of the
so
party.
you need to have additional 4 million before you can contest in the MPP as a presidential candidate. So that's 4.5 million. I think it's absurd, really. And the other political parties also tend to raise money within the period of the presidential elections, and even for the parliamentary as well.
Yeah.
And I think that we have to ask the question, are we
where are
overly
they-
monetizing our politics to the detriment of those who could? Is it why we have square pegs in round holes in public office each time a political party wins the executive presidency, etc., and would have to fill positions, etc.?
Is it a question of the quality of leadership or the financial muscle of the person which determines whether they can run? Well, you get into it.
Yesterday, when I
during
was
issues.
putting together the discussion with Shadrach, and you said I said that is why we have Galamseyers as lead politicians, etc. But I mean, that was just an aside or something like that. But I think we need to discuss that.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Are we doing cash out?
Yes. Yesterday's cash out was mega. Today's cash out will be even super mega. Okay. All thanks to Roland Walker for leading the
bonus
charge.
Roland gave, we still didn't get the amount.
Yesterday, Roland gave 200 cedi bonuses. Today, can we go up, Roland?
Yes, we can.
To 300?
Fantastic. We
Bonuses.
can do that.
Amazing. Dial star 439 hash and cash out with us this morning. Dial star 439 hash, select option 2 for TV3. Follow the prompts and win. Today is Friday, Miniano. Today is Friday. You've got to play a little extra. So if you play 30 yesterday, play 35 today. And how much have we got, Roland? How much have we got? How much are we giving?
10,000.
10,000.
10 people.
To 10 people.
And then 1K to every person, plus
Roland's
bonus
bonuses
of 300 cedis.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
It's going to be
cash
a
out,
fantastic
cash out, cash out. We are 10 days into the month, 20 days to go. You know your salary is already spent. You need a little extra to cushion you. So down now, star 439 hash. Select option 2 for TV3. It's Friday.
Yes,
Friday.
The weekend has to be mega.
Win big on Friday. And use it to check your how far. All right? Star 439 hash. Let's Star
439 hash. You follow the
That's what
prompts.
happens. So when you crisscross from London, you tag down in Accra, then you go to Wa, then you come back to Amamole. That's what happens. Star 439 hash. Choose option 2, which is TV3. Increase the number of tickets you have. 40 and
35
above.
or 40. Nice one. Today we've got 10,000 cedis plus bonuses.
Somebody
10,000 plus
said
bonuses.
50. You should say like 50 times.
50 times?
Yes.
But Rola, today we need to play because we are persons.
Yeah.
You deserve some of this money.
Yeah.
All right, so dial and win. But we're going to get into this morning conversation. Now we're talking about breast cancer, the things you need to know, some of the myths that you may be aware of, and more. It's time for this morning.
We're coming to do breast examination.
It's a common misconception that breast cancer only affects those with a family history of the disease. The reality is, most breast cancer cases, around 90 to 95%, occur in people with no genetic or family link. While having a family history can increase risk, it's not the only factor. That's why routine screenings and self-awareness are critical for everyone.
So we just showed you the facts there and the myths. So
with only white people.
Roland, we'll continue that conversation off air, right?
Sure.
Let's pick our first caller. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where you're calling us from and your name.
Miss Sani from Wale Wale.
Aha,
Sani.
that's where Miss Nashoko went.
Yes, Sani. Hi, good morning. How are you today?
Fine morning. How are you too?
Very well, thank you. What's happening in Wale Wale and what's on your mind? Yes,
yes, I'm wishing that one day you come to Wale Wale. I go to
I look forward to coming there.
Now came there just last week.
I did go to Wale Wale.
I look forward to coming there.
View of the area, okay?
Sure.
Okay.
It's a date.
Yeah. So I think that the MPP, they are primary, okay, and then the money that they want them to pay, I think it is too exorbitant. But it's not small money. I'm not surprised that that is why there is a whole lot of corruption in the country, especially when MPP is in power. Because if you pay this kind of money, I mean, you are able to go through. Definitely, when you come, you want to also get it through the back door. So that is why their party is just like that. But with regards to their balloting, I want to appeal to them that they will get a good position for my brother. That is Alaji Dr. Bawumia. Because it's like the party is now ganking against him. I don't understand. You see, this is the time that they should have even allowed him to go unopposed, because he has suffered for the party for quite a long time.
Sani. Hold on. We are talking about breasts and whether men are interested. Sani, as a man, are you interested in examining
Are you
breasts
checking your breast this month?
and then breast cancer issues? Don't deviate. Don't be like this man. This man, he likes the video. What's his name?
I check mine, so I want to encourage everybody to also go and then check, because the disease is too dangerous. So we shouldn't wait until we found one thing, then we go and then start to, seek for treatment and all that.
Are you checking your breast?
Another thing, that is cervical cancer. That they want to do injection for the young girls.
HPV.
Especially at our schools. But the parents are resisting that one. The parents say that they shouldn't that their children shouldn't take the injection. I don't know the reason behind that, because of they have some kind of belief that when they take it, maybe it will cause them, they will not give birth and all that. So even in my school, some of the parents said that the children should not take the injection. I don't know whether you're getting what I'm saying. They are giving them injection to prevent them from cervical cancer, and that is another disease for our women. Do you understand? So I want to encourage all parents to allow their children to take part of it.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Kani, thank you so much. But you didn't tell us whether you're checking your breast this month.
Hello?
Are you checking your breast?
I've checked mine. And everything is okay.
Do you know how to check?
I've also taken 2 of my wives. We've all gone and checked, and they are all okay with it.
You have how many wives? How many wives? Two, okay.
God bless you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Kani.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's covered 3 broad topics.
Yes.
Even though we're not discussing the HPV.
He deviated with the first one, and I wanted to correct him because he sounded like that man who comes here. Oh.
We don't know who you're talking about.
I'm trying to remember that.
I'm glad he touched on the HPV. I was at.
He doesn't want to mention the name.
I'm trying to remember the name. It's not that I don't want to.
Roland,
I can't remember.
It's okay. When we remember, we'll talk about him. But on the topic of the HPV vaccines, I was at the Teshi Bethlehem Presby School. Yesterday, the assemblyman for Teshi Central, Reese Nyamakwe, organized an eye screening for the children there. And so I went there and I saw that there was some of the health workers were there giving out the vaccines. We heard that some parents are concerned about it. And I feel like I need to add my voice to it. I'm taking the vaccine. If it's a fertility issue, well, I have 2 children. I had these 2 children after taking the vaccine. So I think that as far as I'm concerned from my experience, it doesn't cause infertility. And so we shouldn't...
Excuse me, say this again. You said...
The HPV vaccine.
You took the vaccine when?
Prior to having my children.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And since then
I have had 2 children after taking the vaccine.
Okay. So
the vaccine is safe as far as I'm concerned. So just to allay the fears of some of the parents who don't know anyone who's taking it and so they are not sure and they are concerned for their daughters, I think that the vaccine is safe.
Okay.
All right, let's take more calls.
HPV vaccine ambassador is right here. Now, Shokofo, Ghana Health Service, right?
All right. I'm not speaking. I didn't take my vaccine from the Ghana Health Service, but I did take the HPV vaccine. Okay. All right. So, with respect to the vaccine, yes, it is.
I think this would be a good encouragement to a lot of parents who are hesitating. Yes,
it doesn't cause infertility. All right. Do we have a caller joining?
Yes, I think we have Master Plan. Yes.
Master Planner
Master
Junior.
Planner Junior.
Master Planner Junior.
Good morning to you, sir.
Fantastic, Papa.
Hey, policy analyst. Now he's a policy analyst. How are you? How are you?
Alhamdulillah, everything is fine. How are you?
Chaladeo, bro. Chalizak, go ahead.
You guys are really looking fantastic in your pink.
Thank you.
Let me commend you and then your production team. I think this topic is very, very crucial. We are in the breast cancer awareness month, but you won't get it as usual for a station to be discussing it like this. The only thing we are in the breast cancer, but you are discussing it into nitty-gritty. And then lecture Roland is also giving us vivid explanations.
Based on experience.
He has to organize.
Based on experience.
I know. We are in the same category. I really like your vibe this morning, so you have to organize lectures so that those who don't know how to examine will examine. But those who are having that assertion that men should not be doing the test, they are totally wrong.
Wow.
Yes, you have to balance the thing. Positive and positive can work. It's positive and negative. Men should be examining the women and then probably women also examining men. I think it's cool. And then lastly, I think you have to also
send education down to our schools, especially the basic school and the senior high school. That is where we can get them before they get to their maturity level. They will have that proper conception. For now, we have so many misconceptions in the system. Some traditional beliefs and stuff. In the basic schools, I think growing up, it will stick well than maybe when they grow up and then are trying to impose it on them. They feel like, it's not proper. So let's do the education well at the basic level and the senior high level. So that by 10, 15 years time, everything will settle down, we'll cement and then do away with breast cancer. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you so much, Master Planner from
Kintampo.
Yes.
Now, Beatrice, I want to read a small portion of an article written by Alexandra White, PhD. It was written in April this year regarding breast cancer and some of the things that could cause breast cancer, especially in African women. Hair products like hair dyes, hair relaxers, hair straighteners contain many chemicals, some of which have the potential to increase your risk of getting breast cancer in people who use them frequently. And researchers have been looking at this connection for decades. And this is something that we need to talk about.
That's why you have natural hair.
Yes, I came across this research.
So
this
inspired you to have natural
This one is a 2025 article. But I read a similar article about 9 years ago when I decided to stop texturizing my hair. So I stopped using hair relaxers
when you say
and
texturizing,
chemicals.
what do you mean?
Relaxing your hair or putting any chemical which will make your hair softer and all of that. And I started wearing my natural hair because there was a direct link between African women. Well, stop it. And a direct link
I don't know,
between
like I'm seeing it.
African women getting breast cancer and the hair relaxers that we use.
I never knew.
So for those of you who don't know, I encourage you to look for this paper and read about, the link between texturizing your hair and the potential of getting breast cancer. And dyes as well, hair dye.
Hair dye too?
Yeah, hair dye.
And anyway, I think this morning when we were talking about it as well,
I did mention... We have a female color.
Roll-ons as well.
Yeah.
And aluminium inside roll-ons and how it causes cancer as well. So you want to look out for that as well. So you want to buy roll-ons without aluminium inside, plus perfume.
There's a female color.
Yes, okay. We have a female caller joining us this morning. Patience. Hi, good morning to you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us on the This Morning segment on Newday. Please tell us what's on your mind.
Yes, my name is Patience and I'm calling from the Pro East District.
Yes, please. Go ahead with your point. I hope you're well today.
Yeah. With the breast cancer month awareness, I think it's a good thing that men too should go and check their breast. They shouldn't have this notion that it's only women because our own is protruded. We should always be the ones to always go and examine our breast. But the truth of the matter is that they can equally have such diseases. And then also with the ongoing HPV vaccination, I want to say something about it. Yes.
Please
I'm encouraging all parents to go or to allow their wards to go in for the vaccination because the government spending 500 cedis per vial just to cover up for your wards to protect us so that with the upcoming years, your wards will not have such problems in the country. I think it's a good thing because it's not only our country that is partaking in this exercise. With where I'm currently living, most of the times you go over bank, like you cross the river, you get there, then parents will reject that. They will not allow you to vaccinate their wards. And it's like we are putting government resources to it because you take fuel, you use motorbike, you risk your life to cross the lake.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Patience, for joining us. Let's cross over now to 3FM 92.7. Johnny Hughes is biting.
Come to the table, with very harrowing stories. Those who have not had an experience yet may always want to perhaps downplay this whole concept of breast cancer and the reality of same. But those who have had a harrowing experience with breast cancer, when they tell their stories, you actually feel the pain in their hearts and the tears that drop from their eyes. And so in this month of October, which we call Pinktober, please take advantage of it and get your breast tested. And by getting your breast tested, it's not just about women. Men also are susceptible to breast cancer. And so we encourage the men, the brothers as well, to get tested for breast cancer. And having said that, let me say and inform you that there's a brand new university in town. It's an international university of South African ancestry, and this brand new university is located at Opebia in the Greater Accra region. Opebia is on the airport stretch. If you're driving towards the Accra International Airport, you would see this university I'm talking about. It's called the Rosebank International University College. They're global ready programs that they have expert-led tuition. And this university is a brand and a part of the ADvTech group. That's Africa's largest private education provider, with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. And the Rosebank International University is also fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana, City and Guilds UK, and the Capsicum Culinary Studio. They have programs right from not a PhD, the DBA, and all the way down to the undergraduate. You should see their classrooms. You should see the services, that the quality. You should take a time off your schedule to go and visit the place. Once you take your child there, or once you go there to get maybe a postgraduate degree, or you want to seek to get some extra tuition, to become a world-class citizen, to be inspired for excellence, to have a global appeal, you will know that I didn't advise you falsely, and they are anchored on the community. So you should visit the Rosebank International University. They have communication programs, they have programs in hospitality and culinary, they have programs in information communication technology, they have programs in business administration. You can name it. They have nearly everything. How do you reach them? You can reach them on their phone numbers if you're calling from outside Ghana, and I know that most of you watch us from outside Ghana. That's +233 307 007 800. That's +233 307 007 800, or www.riuc.edu.gh. I repeat that, www.riuc.edu.gh, and you are sure to get the attention and to get all that you need from the Rosebank International University. Now, I am happy today, very, very excited, because the producer of the Sunrise Morning Show, Sixtus Don Ulo, one Don Ulo as we call him here on the show, is being called to the bar this morning. Sixtus Don Ulo is being called to the bar this morning, and we are happy about it. But he is not alone. He is with also media generals Joseph Akable, who for some time, that's not Joseph Akable, that's Benjamin Alpha. We don't have Joseph Akable's photo though, but that's Sixtus Don Ulo, and let Sixtus take his flowers. And Sixtus is not alone. He's with Joseph Akable, Benjamin Alpha, which you see on your screen now, Eric Yahweh J of NEIP. We also do have Mr. Karewe, who's being called to the bar today, and many other individuals. I may not be able to mention all the names, but congratulations to all of you. My good friend, the late Ernest Yaokumi, would have been called to the bar today, but he's late, and We don't know what the Chief Justice and the General Legal Counsel have up their sleeves. I want to say good morning to His Lordship, the Acting Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafuboni, a fantastic gentleman. Indeed, we want to say good morning to you as well. But congratulations, that's Joseph Akable. Put him up there so we can see Joseph Akable quickly. So Joseph Akable, 6'2" Don Ulu, Benjamin Alpha, Eric Yahweh J, and all the great guys. It's a very, very difficult job to do, and they have been able to deliver this excellently, and we salute them and we appreciate them. Now, speaking of the law, I am happy that the Acting Chief Justice, His Lordship Justice Paul Bafuboni, the Auditor General, and then also the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, will be meeting the President over questions of accountability relative to the Public Accounts Committee and the Auditor General's report. Because you realize that over the years, people steal from the nation, they pilfer, they steal from us, they rob us, they dip their hands into their public purse, they take what they want and they just walk away. And then when it is time for accountability, they come, they sit before the panel, they are asked all the tough questions, or so it seems, and then you either go and refund the money, or they're told to go and sin no more. They are either told to go and sin no more, or they are made to refund the money. My argument has always been that if I steal 500,000 Ghana cedis, or 50,000 Ghana cedis, or 20,000 Ghana cedis, and I keep it for a whole year in my bank account or in some investment account, and Jonathan Syme will explain to you how much you could possibly get if you keep such huge amounts of money in an account over a period of time. You make some money off it, but then we ask them to pay those monies and we leave it and we say that's okay. So I'm very excited that the Acting Chief Justice, the Auditor General, and the Attorney General will be meeting the President over this, and I hope that we will actually bring some closure and finality to such backward behavior by people. People ought to be punished for doing the wrong things against the nation. People ought to be punished for stealing the little resources that we have. People ought to be punished for actually stealing taxpayers' monies. And you should read the Auditor General's report. You should listen to the Public Accounts Committee. Before you see what happens at the Public Accounts Committee, the Auditor General's team would have actually gone all into the hinterlands and to all the institutions to do their own audit. And then Iyoko will also go around and do all their checks. Before Parliament's Public Accounts Committee also goes to do all their checks. So what you see as Public Accounts Committee is the final thing where, some things that they didn't get full answers to, then they come and do. So what you see there is the last bit, it's the final bit. But if you go to the regions and you go to the districts and you listen to some of the conversations about how monies have been misappropriated, how funds have been misused in many different ways, you ask yourself, so is this the same country that keeps begging for money, that keeps traveling around to borrow money, to pay interest on those monies? So I'm very happy about it, and I pray that we shall find a lasting solution to it, so it doesn't become another talk shop. Because all we are happy about is announcing that, this year we lost 19 billion Ghana cedis through financial irregularities, payment irregularities, other irregularities. We list them nicely, we put them in a report. If you go on the Auditor General's website, you see the reports from back in the day. We announce it and we are okay, and we go back, it's business as usual. What kind of a people are we? We cry that we don't have money. You have children lying on their bellies to read. You have teachers crossing rivers to go and teach. You have pot-ridden roads. You have streets that have no street lights. You have hospitals that are struggling for beds and other essential facilities. Yesterday, my good friend Major Randy was talking about oxygen not being a luxury. And I agree with him. I've stood here and said so many times that I've seen health professionals run helter-skelter at Kolebu, for example, just looking for oxygen to make somebody survive. And it is not just Kolebu. I'm using Kolebu because that's what I have seen and that's what the example I know. But I'm not sure the situation is any different anywhere. And so if we have some money, we could use those monies to help people and to make people heal and survive. And so we have to do better. Now, staying within the health sector, the Minister for Health, and I saw the Member of Parliament for Ladade Kutupon as well, now Dole Soa, and they said, well, the government has decided to vote 130 million Ghana cedis for the resumption of the construction of the La General Hospital. So it suggests that the previous government was doing some work, and this some work was done under Bernard Okoboy when he took over as health minister, former MP for Lejokuku. Kweku Ajimamenu, MP for Doma Central, who told us that all the funding had been secured at the time of breaking down the La General Hospital, did not do FOCO, stricto sensu. Because if you break down the thing and you go and put some heaps of sand and stones there and you have some excavators masquerading as doing something and nothing happens, is it true that the minister himself, the former MP for Doma Central and former minister for health, former chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, who was asking all the tough questions, no, keep the photo on, who was asking all the tough questions, has his own health facility in the Doma area completed? The question you want to ask, no, put the La General Hospital on. Gentlemen, put the La General Hospital on. The question you want to ask is, he has his own facility, does he? Now, he completed his own facility at what time? And within what period? I want the La General Hospital photo on the screen, please. He has his own facility completed. Yes? If that is correct, did we complete the Agenda 111 in the Doma area too? It's a question to ask. But I digress. The government says it is releasing 130 million Ghana cedis for resumption of the construction of the La General Hospital. That's according to Kwabena Minta Kando when they went on a tour of the place. Now it tells you that so there you can see the minister with the entourage, that's the MP by his side, and you can see some officials of the health ministry. They're taking a tour of the place. I hope this is not another talk shop. I actually want to see work because this hospital serves the people of La. It serves the people of Teshi. It serves the people of Nongwa. It serves even the people of Usu. So we want a certain seriousness attached to this, because we can complain all we want to suggest that the health facilities, may have to wait at some point because the economy is struggling and we have to take a look at certain, portions of the economy. No. I have said here that there are 5 portions of the economy, our country, that we cannot toy with and politicize. Health is one of them. Education is the other. Agric is the other. The economy itself is the other. And security is the other. So, Mr. President, we are happy about this, but we want it to be actualized within a certain time frame. This 130 million Ghana cedis that has been voted to resume work on this, will it complete it? That's the first question. And if it will complete it, within what period? If it will complete it, within what period will it complete it? Because the people want, you should go and visit Lekma one of these days. Just walk into Lekma one of these days. or walk into any of the private clinics and hospitals within those areas, the areas I'm mentioning, La, Teshi, Nungwa, just take a cursory look at some of the areas and you see how choked the facilities are. Even the pressure that is now on 37 military hospital, because the La General Hospital was broken down and we decided to sit and watch. Somebody suggested that if we were not ready to construct it all together, we should have done it side by side. So you keep the hospital and then you start, breaking and then building and breaking and building as you go ahead. But we didn't listen. We wanted to do show, pretty much like what we did with Agenda 111. Because if you have your own money and you are constructing your own house and you wanted to construct 5 houses, you won't start the foundation of all the 5 houses at the same time. You will finish one and go to the other, or maybe you pick 2 and finish so that it is habitable. If we had voted the monies that we got for Agenda 111, the figures that are being quoted to us, we had voted those monies into at least 20 or 15 of those facilities, they will be up and running by now. So the pressure on those other facilities would have lessened. But we chose not to listen. And that's the caution I keep giving to this current government, that listen. Listen. It is very important that you listen. So please make time to listen.
And so, as you heard, the consultant and the contractor briefing us, this is costing us about 50 million euros. This project has gone through some history. The first arrangement didn't go through, and then they had to follow a second alternative. So there is no reliable or like a dedicated source of funding. There are projects where you have loan or grant, or you have a specific source of funding. So as it stands now, this project, you have to make an allocation on the national budget before you get money to continue this project. There are projects when you inherit, there is a dedicated funding. So once you inherit, you just have to run with it. This is not the type of project. And so in 2025 budget, we made an allocation of 130 million Ghana cedis for this project. My records indicate that out of the 50 million euros, about 7 million euros have been paid, which means that we have about 43 million euros more to pay before the completion of this project. Your guess is as good as mine. Is it? 12 million okay. So that is the records available. And the second IPC has been raised. As I indicated during my first submission, we have forwarded them to the Ministry of Finance. That is the process. We can't pay you without the IPC, without you raising anything. And so it's been raised. We forwarded them to the Ministry of Finance. We've done some follow-ups.
So that's the La General Hospital story. Now, one thing has also been trending. Lots and lots of young people who want to join the Ghana Armed Forces or any of the security services. I know how passionate some people are about it. That's one. I also know how some people want to use that as a place to be stable so they can earn a monthly income. And I also know how some people want to use that just as a status symbol. So there are 3 strands of, reasons why people want to join the Ghana Armed Forces or any other security institution. There are requirements. And recently, the Ghana Armed Forces has been very clear. They have always been clear anyway, but recently they have had to reiterate that if you don't have certain qualities and you don't have certain qualification, you don't qualify. If you take your time to read and understand and go and watch and hear and assimilate and understand, I'm not sure you will pick your 200 Ghana cedis to go and waste. I'll say that again. If you take your time to read and understand, if you take your time to go and watch and assimilate, you will not go and waste your 200 Ghana cedis and come and complain to us later that we picked our forms but nobody gave us jobs. It has been happening. You don't want to be the one to go and give your money out for free. Having said that, I still don't understand why, as a country, we still collect monies from people who want to serve our country. Recently, people have been making videos, and it is true indeed. They literally bait you elsewhere with goodies and how much you'll be paid and what you'll be. They are in the eateries and in the parks, etc., sharing leaflets and talking to people, as to why they should come and join the army and all of that. In our case, you have to pay. And you literally be humiliated. You have your forms, you'll be made to move from this side. Say, hey, everybody left. Hey, everybody right. Hey, everybody go now. Everybody up. I know it's a regimented space, but can we change things the way it is? I remember that 84,000 people were made to congregate at the Elwak Sports Stadium once upon a time. We took monies from 84,000 young people. How many jobs did we give them? How many jobs did we give them? And it looks like it's a money-making venture for everybody, from the universities to the law school to the police to the immigration to fire service to prisons to the army. It looks like it's a money-making venture for people. I am not saying that because you have space for 13 people, you should sell 13 forms. No. You can have a certain threshold, or maybe sell a double or triple. That's understandable. You have space for less than 100 people and you sell forms for more than 2,500 people. So we are literally exploiting the people because they are desperate for jobs. And I'm saying that should not be happening as a country. And I keep telling you that some of the people at the helm of affairs back in the day when they were in the universities had jobs being pushed to them, job offers. They themselves came to tell us. They came to tell us that the UACs and what have you were literally coming to them because they were looking for university graduates. So they will come and push the offers, under their doors. After they have taken allowances for going to school, and after they have had breakfast, lunch, and supper and snacks, after they have had orderlies come to take care of their rooms. Yes. That's a reality. In the past, all these goodies were enjoyed. Today, we are told that we are getting better. But the better that we are getting, or whatever description you want to give to it or assign to it, it doesn't look better. And I'm sure that we can do better. In wrapping up, for example, Kunzo, show me the cattle grazing in the heart of the city. We say we are getting better. This was around the Kolebu area. Cattle grazing in the city, around a place called Baba, around Kolebu area. Cattle grazing in the city. Alote, good morning to you. This is the ring road. The ring road. You're heading towards the Circle Dubai. What is wrong with us? And you have assemblies there, you have DCs and MCs there, you are supposed to have metro guards there, you are supposed to have a community.
And say good morning to you as well. And I hope that you did enjoy that edition of Johnny's Bite from the studios of 3FM 92.7. As you know, we're celebrating Breast Cancer Month, and we encourage you. We started last week, and the whole of October, the education will continue. And this morning, we'll be asking how involved are men, in issues of breast cancer, very much involved in checking, examination, etc. of their partners, and what needs to be done by way of follow-ups for medical checkups, etc. And so that's why it's very critical. And we have a health screening right here at the forecourt of Media General. And Media General, if you don't know where it is, we're close to the Jubilee House or the Flagstaff House, depending on how you want to call it. So if you search on Google Map, it says Presidential Drive, TV3 Network Presidential Drive. So Media General, you'll find us there. You'll find everybody else. And a great friend of mine with Mubos, aka Mubo, is celebrating his birthday. That is Usman Mubarak of UDS. Wishing you all the best with the administration as well as public relations. Wishing you all the best for the day as well. The Tamale Technical University, great guy. And with the Tamale Technical University, when you go there, just make sure you go ask for Usman Mubarak. And Frank Fia, also you work with the Minister for Roads. Wishing you all the best for the day. Today we're here to talk about some important issues. And Mubarak was reminding me that I should say good morning to Irene as well. And so Irene of Pink Ribbon Enterprise Tamale. I came there the other time. It was so great lady. But we've been telling you about why we need to take a look at a broad discussion on how our expenditures are undertaken. Because constantly you would find that at each accounting year, when we have the auditing done by the Auditor General's Department, and it's signed off by the Auditor General, billions, if not millions, are lost, not accounted for. Some they enter pockets, some is unaccounted, some is embezzled. And if you follow the proceedings of the Public Accounts Committee and you find the questions being asked, then you get to realize that, well, the accusations really shouldn't be going to the lead politicians, but to those within the civil service structure and all that. Because, Charlie, they just chop it small, and they can be there for 20 years. NDC will go, MPP will come. But why do we have this? What needs to change? It is very important for us to have this conversation, and it's why we're here as well. Your regular host on Fridays is not here. Joseph Akable is going to be called to the bar this morning, and so it's very important that we say preemptively congratulations to you, Joseph Akable, going to be called to the bar this morning, all things being equal, by the grace of God. As we those who watch and then worship with NSPPD and Alpha Hour say, by the grace of God, Joseph Akable will be called to the bar this morning. Congratulations to you in advance. Joseph Akable, great guy. But let me just quickly introduce to you, I have Professor Enoch Opoku-Antwi, governance expert and policy analyst. You know, the good thing I love about him is that he's seen some of the best management of countries, having lived in the United States, taught in universities, consulted, etc. He's here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Professor Opoku-Antwi.
Good morning to our listeners everywhere in the world. I know people love TV3 and continue doing a great job. And my greetings to my people at New Job Enough.
Fantastic. Your constituency is New Job Enough.
New Job Enough.
Okay.
As Korea, Fijasi, or your Bujuma position.
Fantastic. Yes. Great. Who is the MP there? Mike?
Dijo.
Dijo. Okay, Dijo. Okay. And then I have also, I first knew him as an MPP member.
Papa Ro.
So one of the disappointed MPP members now with the movement for change. Ebo Bachman has been my great friend over the years, over close to 20 years, if not and over. Yeah. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Fine. Let me say good morning to the people of Cape Coast. Fantastic. Even though our airport and our body didn't come, we are still Cape Coast. And so, Romahini of Ogwa traditional area, Osabrema, Kwisata the second. This is my special greetings to you, the MC, the fantastic MC George Arthur. He's doing fantastic job there. And Ogwa Akoto, last weekend we were in Cape Coast to commiserate with Ogwa Akoto, Mr. Frank Hatchful. He owns the Hatchland Beach and Hatchland City. Oh, okay. In Cape Coast. Okay, yeah. Okay. We were there to commiserate with him. In fact, what you have...
Sometimes go chill for their power.
Yeah, I know. Of course, you've met there once.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good to come back. Last week I wasn't here, so it's good to come back.
Okay.
To meet my brethren.
Your brethren.
Yeah.
All right. Also, I have lawyer Kwame Jantwa, the son of Jantwa. How are you?
I'm well.
I hope you're well.
I'm very well.
Great.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
But you started your intro with cancer.
So we're marking.
Yes. Well, nobody's wearing a ribbon to support the women.
No, I'm wearing.
No.
The ribbon.
Yes. That is what shows. If you like it, you protect it.
No, do you mean to say
if you like it, you protect it?
If you like it, you protect it.
If you like what? Can it be?
If you like it, you protect it.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I'm sorry for you.
And so, for our discussion this morning, we said men should be interested, especially in the examination, the follow-up. It's very critical. So that
very critical. And none of you are wearing a ribbon to support our women.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's not fair.
Yes.
It's not fair.
You want to make yourself look good.
At least the station should provide ribbons so that we know that the station is promoting it too. Simple.
Okay.
Cancer is a very deadly disease.
It is.
Yes, breast cancer.
It is.
Deadly disease.
It is.
You shouldn't joke with it.
You need to protect what you love.
And our women need to be protected.
Yeah. One person who got me clearly interested in this was Dr. Beatrice Riafiadai of the Peace and Love Hospital as well as the foundation as well.
If you've been hearing those who have recovered on radio within this duration, man, it's not easy.
Lawyer Amaliba is here. Abraham Amaliba is the Managing Director, Executive Secretary, the National Road Safety Authority. Did I get your position right? Because since...
You got it all wrong.
Since you got the position, we haven't met, so... Or is it Director General?
Director General, like the Governor General in those days, under colonial rule.
Fantastic. Let me
forgot to add my CPP to.
Let me reintroduce you, and then we have here the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority.
Director General is a notch higher than Chief Executive and those other.
Lawyer Abraham Amaliba. Good to see you once again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right. So we'll go through some of the statistics. It just doesn't look good. All right. Then we'll tell you what the president has been saying he intends to do or should ideally be done. We have what is real and ideal. And then also some sit-ins from the Public Accounts Committee and some of the questions that are posed and Charles civil servants. Just chop the money left, right, center, as we say in local parlance. So, the recoverable administrative irregularities, 2018, 3 billion. 2019, 5.4 billion.
Climbing.
12.8 billion 2020. 17.4 billion. Unaccounted though. 15 billion 2022. 8.7 billion 2023. 2024 the election year. 18.4 billion 2024. La ilaha illallah. There's no other God except Allah. So the question is, how
from 8
can
billion,
we...
how did it jump to 18? From 8, because it came down to 8.
Okay. It's an election year. You know that.
That's huge.
All right. So And this is a key question we need to think about as a country. I mean, really, we're in dire straits. You know, we are in dire straits. And so let's take you through the Public Accounts Committee here and give you some insight, and then the President also will put the icing on the cake.
No, to him. No, we didn't give it to him now. Auditors, can you confirm when exactly you received this evidence?
No, Honorable, it was just passed on to me.
You have lied on 2 different issues.
Please, I have not lied. I did not lie.
We have Chief Executive here.
I did not lie, please.
The auditors are very clear. They are saying that you are paying a 13th-month salary and you have paid to the tune of 14.8 million Ghana cedis. What they are asking you to do the right thing. Is that process too difficult for Kolebu Teaching Hospital to do?
Going forward, Honorable Chair, we'll stick that.
You are not doing anybody a favor by saying going forward. That is what the law mandates you to do.
To recover the money. Have you done that?
That was the external COVID team who swapped the bodies. So we.
CEO, the answer we want is yes, we have. No, we haven't.
No. Yeah. Actually, we are sorry for exactly what happened, but we haven't still recovered.
Recently, I've been watching the Public Accounts Committee, and it's so pathetic. You know, why must we every year congregate at the Public Accounts Committee, and then you hear all kinds of atrocious, you know, things. I mean, recklessness with public funds and resources. And so I have a meeting on Thursday with the Chief Justice, the Attorney General, and others to find a final solution to this Auditor General's report. That persons who are found guilty of infractions or do not follow due procedure or lead to loss of public resources, we must have a fast-track process to Nsawam, you know. Fast-track, before you see you in Nsawam, 6 months. You know, until we do that, until there's a deterrent, we're going to come every year and they say total misappropriation and infractions of found out by the Auditor General is about 15 billion cedis. I mean, if we save 15 billion cedis, can you imagine what it could do? You know, and so we're going to have a meeting, we're going to brainstorm. We've not fully implemented the constitutional provision. There's a part of the provision that says after the Public Accounts Committee has sat on the Auditor General's report, Parliament must set up a committee. What we don't know is whether it should be a parliamentary committee or it's a committee not necessarily made of parliamentarians.
So the question is, these monies, was it just not accounted for or that went into individual pockets? I mean, clearly.
Roland.
Governance is problematic in Ghana.
Yes. Leadership has failed us. And it's so sad to see this. If you look at for the past 7 years, 2018, 3 billion lost. And it is not just lost, but in individuals' pocket. Then 2019, 5.4 billion. 2020, 12.8 billion. 2021, 17.4 billion. 2022, and this is hard-earned cash. 2023, 8.7 billion. 2024, 18.4 billion. 1 year alone, money lost in individual pocket. Let me put it in simple terms, stolen. That is what it is. But the procurement, the way they go through about the procurement is such a way that you will never find out. You can go to court for 10 years, you never find out. This gentleman who was being drilled here, he didn't cause the loss. He's a new CEO, and because he inherited that debt, he needed to talk about that. So a total of 80.7 billion Ghana cedis have been lost. Look at this money. That can give us a quadruple highway. That means 4 lanes here from here to Kumasi to Tamale. That money are in individual pockets. And so you can tell about how wicked we are to ourselves as people, to our nation. So individuals are getting richer, and then the country is becoming poorer. But I look at the report and I look at the categories of the infractions that is going on there. We have the first one being cash irregularities. Cash with no receipts. and then people take the cash. The second one is indebtedness. So the debt that they leave behind. Some are not even paying GRA taxes. They leave a lot of debts behind. And then loans that people have accrued. They have contracted loans, IOUs, and they've not paid for it. And then we have advances. Oh, give me this money, I'll pay back. It never comes back. These are all part of the irregularities. Then they have payroll irregularities. You know, we keep talking about ghost names. There are no ghosts. Individuals have turned themselves into ghosts. I told you about a lady who went to the Netherlands for 8 years, married. The marriage didn't work. She came back home only to realize that she came back to the school that she was teaching and said that I want to come back because a man took me to the Netherlands. The relationship didn't work. I'm coming back home to work. And she said that the headmaster told her that, don't worry, you've even been promoted. So while she was away for 8 years, somebody was collecting her salary. And we have many cases of such situations where people are not here, but individuals are collecting their salaries because they have not expunged their name from the systems. So that is their ghost names, unearned salaries. People have not earned those salaries, but they are collecting those salaries. Travel and leave and don't return, and then people are still being paid. Then we have stores and procurement irregularities. This is a huge one. The stores and the procurement is where a lot of the money goes because there are a lot of irregularities in the way we do the stores and the procurement. So procurement irregularities is too much. Then rent payment irregularities is also one of the issues, the way they contract in paying rent. Then they have contract irregularities, which is the way the bidding is done, the way some individuals are disqualified. So, you know, we have 6 major irregularities that is going on. And unless we seal the hole for all these, we'll continue to have that rise in the way we see this corrupt and canker and stinkiness in our public service.
The way they've been itemized, we seem to be just perhaps re-echoing the same thing all the time. And the barriers and the buffers that have been put to be a hindrance or resolve them don't seem to be working. Ideally, you take the U.S. system, for example. If you're being drilled by a Senate committee,
yes,
I mean, you're being drilled.
Yes.
You find Mark Zuckerberg, it's a billionaire, almost going to the numbers of, by the next day, into the trillions.
Mm-hmm.
He's been drilled, and it's all for the public good. What is wrong with the way we've been doing it all along? Having a parliamentary committee, they come there very subtly and all that.
I think it's all that the way the laws have not worked. The enforcement of the law has been very weak. And then we also have a culture where people are smarter in stealing than doing the right thing. So we have a situation where people learn how to steal. So let me give an example. There's a bidding. And then you have 3 individuals bidding for the same project. Let's say a cleaning project. Now you will see that one organization meets all the criteria that the bidding committee is looking for. 2 others don't meet all the criteria. But strangely, the one that meets all the criteria, the bidding price is lower than the 2 that doesn't meet the criteria. So any normal person will go for the one that meets all the criteria, and then the bidding price is also cheaper. But when you delve further, you will get to know that the 2 additional ones that did not meet all the criteria were fake organizations. So already they have planned everything. Everything is pre-planned. And then you go in there and you see that, because normally you look at the bidding price and then do they meet all the requirements? This organization is meeting all the requirements. The bidding price is lower. The other 2 or 3 are not meeting them, and then it is higher. Any normal person will go for the one that is meeting all the criteria. But then the devil is always in the details. So we have built a culture where people are very good at stealing or beating the system. That is the way they call it. And we have to be watching carefully. Do you have integrity? So morals is also one of the things lacking here. And then the law works there. Because there, once you are caught, you'll be dealt with severely. And that is what the president is talking about. So I have about 7 ways that we can fix this. The first one is that we have to strengthen our institutions. So if you talk about a PAC, the Public Account Committee, the president is saying that we should form a committee in Parliament to look into this. What about the Auditor General? Do they have even the resources to do that? If an auditor goes to these public areas and the auditor is giving money, don't you think they will be compromised? Mm. Yes, so we'll talk about how to fix them. But I think that it's ugly. This is ugly, and we need to stop it.
Yeah, and he makes reference to morals, that is having a conscience, etc. We have some of the best prophets in Ghana. I mean, literally, sometimes you think about it and it looks like we're structured this way. What do you think that if we have somebody like Daniel Domelevo in many of these institutions could help in trying to check the system? Because even though you may have a head who is good and stern, I mean, you work with structure, right? And if everybody down the chain or within the chain is thinking differently, that's problematic, is that not it? So really, it's not the politicians.
Roland, you see, the whole thing is we have chosen democracy to be our governance system. And so when things happen, we want to use the process to get it sorted out. And the democracy that is supposed to help us to grow and develop, unfortunately, has become too tolerant of corruption and too weak on accountability. Our democracy should be able to help us so that our resources are equitably distributed to our people. So that we don't have a situation where a section of our population is too poor and a few is too rich. That is what democracy is supposed to give us. But unfortunately, we are having a situation where the system makes a few people rich because that few people are able to manipulate the system to enrich themselves at the expense of the majority of the people. And that is the situation we have been experiencing over the years. And the reason why we are not succeeding is that corruption has become the cheapest commodity in Ghana. Corruption is now the cheapest commodity in Ghana because everybody can afford to be corrupt because of the kind of systems we have. And until we make corruption expensive, until people begin to fear to even think of engaging in corruption, until we begin to punish people. People go to jail 10, 20, 15 years, 30 years because of corruption. Until we do that, I'm telling you, corruption will remain cheap and people will be engaging in it. Elsewhere, they've succeeded because they've intentionally made corruption expensive. So you steal something small, you go to jail. In the case of China, if you steal something small, you can easily lose your life. And so you dare not even think of engaging in corruption. But the system we operate in, people taking advantage of the system, and let the truth be told, that the kind of corruption, the kind of infractions we experienced in the last 8 years under Akufo-Addo Bawumia government is unprecedented. I mean, let's face it, if the figures are there, as if somebody just went to the office and slept on the job, completely slept on the job.
But it can only be the political structure's fault.
But the head, you see that you see that's why we elect. We all is it 7 December? We all go out there, we join a queue to vote for one person to become president of Ghana. So your actions and your inactions, they trickle down. If you sleep on the job up there, those down there will also sleep on the job. That is why we are having this kind of situation at our hand. That as a country, we know we are poor. Yet if you consider the figures you are seeing this morning, there's no way this country should be poor. There's no way this country should be poor. And if you look at all the auditor's reports, Auditor General's report we've had over the years, it's as if we are only interested in letting people know how much we have wasted. No action is taken. And so that is why I would want to applaud the president for this initiative. That for the first time, we've had a president who says, wait, hold on. Attorney General, come here. Chief Justice, come here. Let's put our heads together. Let's see how we can deal with this canker. This cycle that keeps recurring almost every year. And it's as if we are only interested in letting people know. So Public Account Committee will sit down, drill people, and we'll be laughing, and after that, everybody goes to sleep. That is the problem we are having. You see, what has happened, what the report has exposed, or what the report has revealed, has only exposed deep-seated or deep-rooted weaknesses in our public financial management system. That if you go to these institutions, they have internal audit units. All these institutions, go to all those places, they have internal audit units. What are they doing? That they would have to sit aloof for these things to get to this level where you as a nation, we have to lose this amount of money to people through corruption. And so, I was saying that if you read the Bible very carefully, and if you're a student of the Bible, you read John 10:10. John 10:10 can be divided into A and B. John 10:10 says the thief only comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That's the A. The B says, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. Now, the A, I personally have said that given what happened in the last 8 years, under Akufo-Addo Bawumia, I have ascribed the John 10:10A to them, that they only came to steal, kill, and destroy. And I can give you instances. That shows they came to steal. I mean, the reports are there. What we just observed is there. They came to kill because look at what happened to DDEP. Number of people who lost their life to DDEP. And number of people who were even killed in 2020 elections. They just came to kill to get power. And after that, when they got power, through DDEP, a lot of people, Dr. Ejekum says, he said before his demise, he said about 800 of his people died as a result of DDEP. And they came to destroy also. What did they destroy? They destroyed our economy, they destroyed our water bodies, they destroyed our forests. And so, clearly, that's why I'm excited that the president is taking this initiative. And I want the president to own the B part, which says, I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. If the president is able to, as it were, as for the economy, they are doing fantastically well, so far so good. If we can solve the problem of Galamsey, if we can deal with this issue of corruption, if we can make Ora very active, if you can see people behind bars as a result of corruption, I'm telling you, the president will fulfill that part of the scripture that says, I have come that you may have life and have it more abundant. Other than that, we are living in a country where people want to become politicians because it's the easiest way of becoming a millionaire. I mean, we know people who could not afford car ties, who could not rent a single room. They are now millionaires in Ghana. Politicians who, after university, had not done any work. And there's no lifestyle audit. We don't question them.
I don't understand.
No, I'm saying that.
What do you mean by they hadn't done work?
Oh, people had not done any work. They just from university became party national executives. They got some appointment. They are now millionaires. And nobody is questioning how they got that money. To the extent that even when some of us, me, Solo, and Apia Dankwa, question Dr. Bawumia in respect of how he was able to raise money to buy the trainer pickup, these people are insulting us. They think corruption should not be mentioned. Accountability should not be mentioned. And that is the danger that is confronting this country, that people steal with joy. And Mr. President, let me tell you, people want to see more people in jail than inflation coming down. And if you can do that for people, I'm telling you, your name will be engraved in this country as the second best president after Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
May I ask a question? Yep. When you say the system, what system? Describe the system. You say the system is going. What
I'm talking about our governance. So that's the architecture of our governance. Yes.
Just don't say system and leave it.
Okay, I get it.
So that
he said within context. What were we talking about?
That is you. This is me.
All right.
Huh?
Okay.
Because you ascribed, you also ascribed your commentary to the 8 years of the MPP. So that system that you talk about, we need to know what that system is that allowed them to do what they did.
Yes, I've
So at the end of the day, you would find that when it comes to all the issues, it's also related to the structure of the civil service and then the structures that the political heads or appointees work with. Yes, lifestyle audits are needed. At the end of the day, there are systems that they tend to inherit. And we all know politicians as friends, we associate with them. They try their best and they can't just change the structure. How do we go about that?
So there's corruption among political appointees and there's corruption also among public servants. Most of the time, we concentrate so much on the political appointees and leave the public servants. So when you listen to the PAC, you will notice that this is focusing on public servants who have misconducted themselves in that way. Fighting corruption among political appointees is good. Same way we should fight corruption among public servants.
Yeah.
Corruption among public servants is as debilitating as corruption among political appointees. It will interest you to know that ministers don't sign checks. And so if a minister wants to engage in acts of corruption,
you need the help.
It should be a 10% kickback of a project that he has agreed to undertake in his ministry.
That's what happens, eh?
I'm telling you. Now, for those who chop government money, those who actually use their hands to take government money are the the public servants. Because the chief director signs the check with the finance director. When you go to the district assembly, it is the coordinating director, the director of finance, the budget officer who sit down to do all the budget. If you come to the agencies, it is the chief executive, or if you want the director general, in my case, and the finance director. Now, what mostly you see, and these are the centers of corruption. What I've mentioned is called centers of corruption.
The various cohorts.
Centers of corruption in the various government agencies.
Yeah.
Now, you will notice that because focus is on the government, the minister and the political appointees, will lose sight of the fact that these persons too are corrupt. The minister is there to give policy direction and strategic leadership. That's what the minister is supposed to do. And so he oversees. It is true that the fish rots from the head. So if you have a leader who himself is corrupt, as we saw in some time past in this country, then it gives room for followers to engage in those acts of corruption. Because the minister or the big man will not call you and reprimand you. So it gives rise to what you are seeing by the public servant.
It creates a culture.
It creates a culture, a subculture. I am aware that in some instances, budgets are inflated so that the rest of it can come back to their pockets. So, for instance, there's a weeding contract, a weeding contract by the roadside.
Yeah. By the Feeder Roads Department.
Feeder Roads Department. Then the contract sum is 10,000. They will add another 10,000. And that will be distributed among those who appended their signature for the withdrawal of the money, the check. You get my point? In Kenya, when there's a public accounts committee like this, there's a policeman at the back. In Kenya. Then you are taken into custody, and then they'll start your investigation and send you to court. In Ghana, and that's what the president said, once you appear before the public committee and you are grilled, you go back home and sleep. The Constitution, which is Article 184(4), and the president paraphrased it. This is what it says. Parliament shall debate the report of the Auditor General and appoint, where necessary. They didn't say where necessary. Can you see the language? Where necessary. So whoever is going to look at this can say it's not necessary and will not implement it. In the public interest, a committee to deal with any matters arising from the report. So Parliament will send it to a committee, and that's what the president was talking about. I was in that meeting when the president met us, talking about whether he doesn't know whether it's a Parliament's committee, because it's a committee, or it is a committee outside Parliament. So I'm sure this is
or a hybrid.
a hybrid.
Because he was trying to allude to
as a hybrid, yes, because it doesn't spell out. And that's why he said he was going to meet the Attorney General and Auditor General to thrash out this. But look at how the Constitution is dealing with a very serious matter. Why do you even send it to another committee? Why won't you refer the matter to security agents to deal and arrest those people and take them through the procedures in court? So, Parliament committee, Parliament itself is a committee because Parliament is a representative of all of us. Parliament is a committee of we. And then Parliament again will give it another committee. What kind of long procedures are these? Aren't you pampering the corrupt person? You are pampering him. Look, he's mentioning in China, in some countries, you are better off. You are better off. And I'm adding, you are better off committing suicide than being told that you are corrupt.
Singapore and China. I think sometimes even Malaysia, Indonesia.
You are better off hanging yourself.
Some are actually jailed for life or killed.
Oh yeah, so that is deterrent enough to scare you.
But Agric Minister, China Agric Minister has been sentenced to death by hanging.
So you better kill yourself. That's what they be saying.
Yes.
So you're saying some of these people should be hung?
Hey. You say I call you hey. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I'm telling you how in some countries they take financial malfeasance serious. You get my point? What is that I say that you have?
I apologize. Sir.
So, but you see, our constitution itself, the groom law, the highest law of the land, seems to be even joking with the matter. You see, it's even joking with the matter. And I think that it's about time. And I agree with the president that, and when he was talking to the CEOs, I was there, I agree with the president that, look, we need to take this matter seriously. Because there's a correlation, and people don't know, between corruption and the fact that as a citizen, you are unable to meet your needs. People don't know that. When you get up and you cannot eat 3 square meals a day, it's because what you should have used to eat is in somebody's pocket. Yes. People don't understand that thing. People don't understand that thing. If you are rushed to a hospital, you are driving along a highway, and you get an answer and they drive you to a hospital, the first person to attend you is a nurse. That nurse may be a protocol nurse who didn't qualify to be in the nursing school, but because of protocol, he was sent there. He doesn't know anything. He's going to inject you with a wrong dose and you die. That's what corruption. Corruption has. I'm telling you how you can drastically, you can literally expand corruption and its debilitating effect. But people don't connect it that way. And so the society will even say that.
Say that again.
I don't know. So societal pressures.
They make mockery
of people who
are steadfast.
Who are steadfast and live
upright
in offices.
That's not when you're smart.
So societal pressure leads to all these things. There are more I can talk about, but today is not Saturday.
Key points.
It's not taught.
Like John Tua Down Valley does on these days, which is supposed to be for Saturday. But these are matters that are so grievous.
Yeah.
And we need to deal with them, else our society will one day be no more.
But are you trying to tell me that those who watch us on Friday do not deserve to listen to the details and have to wait till Saturday? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that we are constrained by time.
We are not constrained by time. Say it as it is.
But it's also because our society is not meritorious. So we've created a subculture of, if you are CPP, you are not part of accessing the national cake. That is, if you create value and deservedly so, you need to be rewarded. If you are MPP and it's NDC, you don't take part in getting access to the national cake, deservedly so, if you create value or work to contribute. And so you have to be rewarded. If you are NDC and it's MPP's time in governance, then you are not part of the national cake and you created value, you contributed, you needed to be rewarded. I'm talking about maybe being paid good salaries, etc. And so people want to hoard at the detriment of the nation's development, unlike what happens or pertains in other countries.
Is that the meaning to you of national cake?
National cake is the resources of states.
What is national cake?
The resources of states.
What is it supposed to be used for?
Is
it supposed to be used for reward?
For developing.
Exactly. For develop, not for reward.
Maybe I'm not using the right terms. I'm not talking about giving handouts.
You are put in a position of authority, like he has been put in the position of authority, to serve the nation, not to serve your individual interest. And that is where the challenge is. Let's stop pussyfooting around. Huh? Tell me, in this Fourth Republic, Public Accounts Committee, how many people have gone to jail?
Zero.
In this Fourth Republic, what parties have ruled this country?
MPP and DC.
So where does responsibility lie?
But we've had others go to jail for financial
Where
loss.
does the responsibility lie? The president says, over the years, Public Accounts Committee, they talk about A, B, C, D, E. Isn't it the same parties who have ruled this country? So if we are pointing a finger, where do we point the finger first? To those who have ruled us. So let me ask, the public accounts, do they have prosecutorial powers? Can they prosecute? Huh? 2, what is the responsibility of Parliament to the Public Account Committee? Lame duck. Lame duck. Nothing can happen. Nothing can happen. Nothing will happen. Because look at the figures you are mentioning there.
That is scary. If you say nothing can happen, nothing will happen.
Has anybody gone to jail?
Are we that weak?
I said, has anybody gone to jail?
So what are we waiting for?
Has anybody gone to jail?
So where do we break that cycle?
Who heads the parastatals? Who heads the parastatals?
Appointees.
Where do the appointees come from?
The political party.
Aha.
Appointed by the president in consultation mostly with the Council of State.
You see where I'm going to? You see where I'm going to? The arrowhead comes down to politicians. So you ask yourself the question, when the president has the power to nominate people to different parastatals, is it politicians they should put there? And people would say, politicians are being put on these parastatals for reward. No, be so? You are an NDC. You've been proved. Okay, don't let me use you. Amaliba, he's NDC. He's been proven, it showed that during elections, he's worked very hard to get the party back. His expertise might not even be in the institution they are taking him to. And so because those expertise aren't there, when he gets there, the sitting tenants who are there, who make sure that these malpractices go on, would try and advise him. Oh, boss, welcome. You're new. A, B, C, D, E are some of the things that we do here. Because he has no idea of how the place runs. What does he do? He falls into it. Because really and truly, if anybody is supposed to monitor, the first point of call should be those who have the responsibility to run that institution and to monitor. And if the Public Accounts Committee is saying the things they are saying, and it even so happens that it's the civil servants there the man on top's head should roll. Will it? No, because it's a politician. It's a politician. Look, I believe that for our public institutions, if people want to head these public institutions, they should apply. They should be vetted. They should apply, be vetted, and the right person be there. And it's not a question of MPP, CPP, NDC come into power, then they move everybody and bring new people in. So far as you have the wherewithal and capacity to handle the institution, you are there, irrespective of whatever political party comes into power. Because you see, we tend to cause financial loss to the state by these changes that we do. And maybe, and I don't know, you probably be able to tell me, the Constitutional Review Committee, maybe they have looked at the powers of the president in terms of nominations.
Yeah, they have.
And have done something about it.
About how powerful the executive president is.
Yes, they have to do something about it, because anybody put in a position of responsibility where the public is concerned should be that kind of person where we know that person is fit for that job. Because the Public Accounts Committee always come and sing this song every year. And look at the figures mounting. Look, those figures that are there, doesn't it show that we don't need IMF? Mm-hmm. Doesn't it show that there's money in this country? Doesn't it show that citizens of this country are being shortchanged? And you go to some country, India. When you go to India, the minister driving his car.
But India to corruption day there.
Corruption day there. Corruption day there. But when you go to places like Delhi, you don't see ministers sitting in flashy cars. You see, the draw of the pomposity of power makes people struggle to get there. They might not have the wherewithal to do the job. But because they are the friend of the president, or they are somebody in the party who is strong, they put the person there. And the person's main intention is to make money. Look, I keep saying, and I'll continuously say, if we don't kill this personal interest scepter that we have in terms of our public sector and the things we do in this country, let's forget it. Because they'll tell you, say, I buy ejuma, I buy sika. Is that why you go and pay me home? Is that why you go and pay me home? So if you're an individual and you try to do the right thing, you stick out like a sore thumb. The president is saying there should be a beeline to Nsawam. Yes, there should be a beeline to Nsawam. But remember, in criminal prosecution, what is used is a reasonableness test. And make sure, and you also have to make sure that it is on the prosecution to be able to prove criminality.
Please wrap up for me.
No, it's a prove beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes, beyond a reasonable test.
Yeah, so it says reasonable test.
Reasonable test. And it is up to the prosecution to prove. When the others were talking, you didn't tell them to wrap up. So let me finish.
Okay, okay.
You are noted for.
I'm noted for what? When you're talking, did I say anything? Please stop that. See, let me do my thing.
Okay, so
no, don't go. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Me trust him so. He's my junior. He's my junior. Why you talking to me like that?
Somebody ought to happen
to we have to be able to give.
I tried in a notebook.
I said we have to be able to give the Public Accounts Committee the power of prosecution.
Okay.
Because let's take it this Fourth Republic. Let's collate all the public accounts infractions that they've mentioned, and let's see, out of that, how many people have been prosecuted. Look, the moment a party leaves power, and no, nobody says anything. Quite recently, were we not shouting on top of the roofs about Kinuforiata? Were we not?
I saw him with the school bag.
I said, were we? I said, were we not? I said, were we? Were we not? He's done this. He's done that. He's done that. Does anybody hear Ken Ofori-Attah's? Can we hear Ken Ofori-Attah's name anymore? Can we hear Ken Ofori-Attah's anymore?
You mean die
so
down.
The point I'm trying to say is that when politicians come into power and they do the wrong things, they should be pursued, even if they have, according to the Constitution, rights of what do you call it? What do they call that thing? Where your time isn't up. Where President Akufo-Addo's what do you call it? Immunity. Immunity. And
immunity from prosecution.
Yes,
and the Constitution
and
says
and the Public Accounts Committee can see that the finger is pointing at you. That immunity should be taken off and be prosecuted. Because, unfortunately, it's the ordinary man who suffers. Amen.
Amen. Yeah. But you see, all these things doesn't come as a surprise because, for me, what we are seeing in the public sector is a byproduct of the society that we have.
All right. So that's how the people are. That's
So I love to sit with the lawyer, but I'm going to prescribe solutions to some of the problems. I have 7 of them. The first one is what we do in public awareness. We need to educate people on accountability and transparency, which is very important. That, it is not smart to be stealing. People think that if you are smart, that means you know how to steal. That culture that a minister or governor appointee will go and meet, if you go and meet a corrupt culture, it is easy for them to corrupt you. If you are incorruptible, they will find a way to kick you out. They will say you are not a good person because you're fighting against a moving tide. So we should watch that. The second one I'll talk about is how we promote a whistleblower act. That we should do a lot of things that when people come and talk about this person is doing this and we investigate, we should reward whistleblowers, which is very important. And the president have done this by giving a portal that you can report some of these things. Because in Ghana, if you go and report somebody and you're not careful, your life is at stake. So whistleblowing act is something that we should be working on. The third prescription that I have is how to enhance the public financial management. So we both talk about the internal auditors. What are they doing at the various ministries, departments, and agencies? How we budget. So if the budget numbers are inflated, how do we make sure that we bring the numbers down? How we do our accounting system and how we report on our accounting system. Are we using FIFO, first in, first out, or last in, first out, or the average system? So these areas, any accounting technique that you use, there is a potential way of being corrupted, and you need somebody to check on that. Then the other one is how we implement our audit report recommendations. So all these recommendations by the Auditor General, they make recommendations, and in the end, nobody is prosecuted, nobody goes to jail, nothing happened. It's just kumbaya, and we say goodbye and go home. And if you continue to do that and people know that it won't end anywhere, they will continue because it is the easiest way to get into richness. If we talk about something serious that we've never looked at, most of the leaders we have in this country, right from NUCS, because I was also at NUCS, right from NUCS student leaders, straight to main politics and their ministers, and they are making a lot of money. They have never worked for other people.
Saying that from SRC,
from student leadership,
so SRC,
straight to main leadership,
or NUCS.
Yes.
Then you go to
straight to political leadership. And they have never worked for anybody. You see, working for somebody, you learn a lot.
Then you go to government.
Yes. You learn a lot working for people. Sometimes your bosses will frustrate you, all those things.
So that's why we have the richest people being the main politicians.
So what the Western country, people have been telling me, but I picked those because of the best practice that we can. They allow students to work. From 16 years, we are working at McDonald's, we are working at Best Way, Subway. It's because they want you to learn customer service, how people can frustrate you. People are working even at the universities that they go to school, they are working, they are cleaning. You learn customer service so that by the time you finish university, it's not just that thinking somebody has money there, you are going to look for it. So you have experience. But most of individuals in politics now, just straight from student politics to main politics, and they don't have any practical experience dealing with people.
But does that mean you should be corrupt? That shouldn't mean you should be corrupt.
I am ending with another thing, Kwame. What I'm saying is that I started by saying that if the tenants that you talked about are already corrupted, and you decide not to corrupt yourself, they will find a way to kick you out. Let me give a typical example. A minister, I'll not mention names, and it's not in this government, but previous government, said that he was appointed a minister, and people started coming to his office and say, oh, congratulations, congratulations, take this for lunch. Oh, congratulations, take this for lunch. And then in the end, when you open the drawer, you put them in the drawer. $10,000, $5,000, $2,000. So, hey, Ejume here. So just launch this. Guess what? Before he knew, his business card that they took, that take my business card, you can call me. They were using it to do other things until the president called him at that time that people are using your name for this. So the people you are going to meet are already corrupted. And if you try to push against that moving tide, they will find a way to get you out. That means we have built a culture that the upright people here don't survive. It is the corrupt, because if you don't join them, they will find a way to kick you out. So how do we solve that corruption part where we don't join them, but we are there to change, and then they will embrace that kind of change? We need to look at a way of doing that. You talk about pastors and individuals. We are all going to churches and the mosques. Yeah. So where in lies the 18.4 billion that we are stealing?
You see, NSPPD, what God cannot do.
So are we hypocrites that we
and then my pastor is Archbishop Odepo, Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, Winners Chapel International. Then I listen to a number of them also around. Otabo, I used to follow him.
See, so we have people, and I think that if the churches and the mosques have not come, then things would have been worse.
Mashallah.
Things would have been worse, because even with this, look at what is happening. The other one, I like what the president talked about, is the fast tracking of prosecution. We have to work on a judicial system and make sure that we serve deterrent to those who are corrupting themselves. Hefty jail terms, confiscate their assets. You need, if it's real estate, take all the buildings away. If it is the money that they have taken, make sure that you take all their money away. We still have Sidadape's case. What has happened to it? We have an office of the special prosecutor saying that influence peddling is not corruption. And I didn't know what to even say. If nobody can have access to you, Roland Walker, because you were president, and I come to tell the person that give me 10,000 cities, I will let you see Roland Walker. You give me 10,000, and the next day I'm sitting in front of Roland Walker. Is that not corruption? That is influence peddling. It's corruption, clearly.
Prof, let me ask you a question. What has happened to Wyoming?
So we can mention names, Kwame. We can mention names.
But the follow through seizes.
We are talking about
them where
it is scary to me when you said nothing will happen. If we say nothing will happen, then we are not breaking that cycle. If it becomes cyclical, that if it becomes cyclical, that every day things happen, we meet and talk about it, drill people, they will sweat a little bit and they go home and nothing happens, then that's not how we are solving it.
And somebody steals a goat and he's put in jail.
I mean, you took my time on. The last two is that we have to strengthen institutions and oversight. So the park, we have to strengthen the park and make sure that they have they can prosecute individuals. And then the Auditor General's
strong institutions.
Yes, we need to strengthen our institutions and oversight.
And
then the last one is we have to improve transparency and accountability. And that means online platform that we can track how some of this money goes. But then finally, we should question people who acquire wealth and we don't know the source of it.
That's lifestyle audit.
Yes, we have to ask, even in our homes, when your dad buys a car and you know that his salary cannot buy, Dad, where did you get the money? We should begin that culture of questioning our family people who acquire wealth shortly. And ex-President Mills did that, right? He went to the customs and asked them that, you saw it, we all saw the video, that how come that people come to customs and within 2-3 years you put up a mansion, where do you get the money from? We should begin to ask questions. The why will solve the problem for us.
Do you have a son?
Yes,
Do you have a daughter?
Yes.
Have they ever questioned you about how you bought a property?
They will question me.
Have they ever?
They will question me.
No, have
my
they?
case will always question me.
Have they?
Yes.
Have they?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I've trained them that way.
Please.
Because it won't happen.
No Zato and Solo here today. Please.
It won't happen.
Ebo?
Yeah, I think.
So there are key considerations, and I'm going to premise this. So a friend of mine who lives in the UK bought, I think it was iPhone 16 at the time. He left it at the train station. He bought it the next day. I think they do contract or something like that.
Yes, contract.
He left the phone in the train. And by the time he got to work, he saw that his phone was not around. They called him from the train station that somebody in the train, a co-passenger, had come to leave the fresh iPhone 16. Yeah, I think they have some train masters or something.
Yes.
Some
at the train station. So
they called him from the train station that he called the phone and they said the phone is at the train station. Whoever supervises there is there, that a co-passenger. So it talks about culture and it talks about culture.
Yes.
Yeah. There's corruption in the West, but there's no greed among the mass of the population. Okay. I'll give an example. Ken Oforiatta, we saw him with a backpack. The young student, they use backpacks.
And the man is supposed to be sick.
And the oh no, and he's supposed to be in Ghana. He will not walk like that, like on the street with and be moderate, modest, etc. Our presidents, when they go abroad, the flashy four-wheel drives and things, they pick them in BMWs. If it's Germany, you went BMWs, Benz, normal saloon sedans or something like that. You go to the US, you're going to use a normal Ford, a normal Escalade, something. China, you know. What's the and then the Chinese also have that one. Though. Why is that we're not able to, over time, change the culture down there so that it trickles up? Is it because we don't have any strong leader in our generation and the next generation, or we are not ever going to produce that to change this?
No, we've changed. Over the years, we've changed, except that we've changed from bad to worse.
How do we change from this to be good?
Yes, I think if we can consciously look at our education system, because all of us went through education system, we were exposed to certain behavior, our secondary school life. Today, if you hear some of the things that our secondary school people do, it's baffling. So we have to have a real look at our education system, because if you want to straighten up a tree, you don't wait for the tree to grow. Once you plant it and it's going, it's heading to a direction that you don't like, you just have to, do it when it is young. And that is what we're supposed to do. We need to tackle the issue from the very roots. I mean, our education system.
Yeah.
We should be able to do that. But let me tell you, all the solutions we are proffering, the only one solution that will work is making corruption expensive. People going to jail 30 years for stealing. I mean, you can have an open door. Let one person enter that door and die. Nobody would want to enter that door.
So
if somebody has stolen and the person has been given 40 years or life imprisonment, you would dare not steal. Because you know that in this country, when you steal, you go to jail. But a situation where when even you are being investigated, parliamentarians will leave parliament and go and sit on the streets just to show support. I mean, this is madness.
That's our standard.
Yes, this is our standard. And so we need to have our punitive system should be deterrent enough so that somebody who even is processing, who is thinking of stealing, would think twice before stealing. But it becomes so easy. It becomes so easy. And this, you see, AB said something. The opportunity cost of corruption. The opportunity cost of corruption is so high. If you go to every village and you see children drinking from the same river with donkeys or goats or sheep, that is opportunity cost of corruption. If you go to areas where pregnant women are lying on the floor, this youth, most of the youth who are supporting these politicians, who are demonstrating in support of these politicians who are unemployed, that is opportunity costs of corruption. So until we begin to do what Ethiopia, let me tell you what Ethiopia has done. In Ethiopia this year, May, they published a law. And you say, oh, every law should be, is it proactive or what? They have passed a law that is retroactive. It goes back 10 years. And 10 years, if you're a public servant or a political appointee, if you've acquired assets, and the cost of asset is more than 10 million of their currency, and you're not able to justify, if they see that there's disproportionate connection between your salary and the assets that you've acquired, they will confiscate it to the state. Go to Singapore. Some of their laws, even in Ethiopia, some of their laws, the burden of proof is on the state. If you are living exorbitant life, if you have put up 5 mansions, when your salary cannot put up even 1 mansion, why should the state be the one to prove that it is not yours? You have to prove that, yes, I acquired it lawfully. So the burden of proof should be on the person, not on the state. So I think we are over-practicing democracy. And therefore, people are taking advantage of that to plunder this country. And that is why we are still here suffering as a nation, going to IMF all the time to borrow $3 billion. That is spread over 4 years or how many years?
5 years.
I mean,
and paid in tranches.
I mean, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Mr. Maliba, how do we address this? For example, you, the parties, the NDC MPP, for example.
I wanted to make a point.
No, wait, your time will come. They say raise additional 4 million before you file. You've paid your main 500,000. You add additional 4 million. NDC also they will also raise some of the figures, not in the same.
Are we
model.
moving to another topic?
No, not necessarily. But you know, they're financiers, and so we've created that culture. How do we change it? And it has to start with the political elite. What do you think?
You have diverted my train of thought, but
how do we resolve this?
You see, the problem has to do with your notion of what is good and what is bad. Your notion of how do I position myself in such a way as not to be corrupt. Because there are people in this country, they have stolen with their hands, with their feet, and with their stomach. They've stolen. They are filthy rich, but they are still corrupt. That is sickness. That is disease.
So they've stolen with their head too?
Yes. They've stolen with look, they've catch the money everywhere, and they are still corrupt. You would have thought that they would have divested their activities, because now that they are rich, they will now do something which is lawful. But is it their fault? I say it's not their fault, because there's nothing that restrains them from doing that. You talk about the exorbitant fees the MPP is charging. It is not out of a vacuum. That amount they are charging their candidates, it's not out of vacuum.
It's a strategy.
The MPP sitting at their headquarters know who, when he was in power, how he was getting his money.
So they know who can pay.
That's it. They know. Were we not here when somebody wanted to buy all of our hotels? So if such a person is to pay 4 million, what is it? 400? 4 million. 4 million. What is that?
He said he's already paid.
I'm saying that again. They know who, when they were in power, what they grabbed. So they also want to take some for the party.
Are you making a claim that they are using it to raise
that's it. That's what they say. I said they want to also collect it.
You collected it in government, so now the party needs it.
There's one person who didn't grab.
I don't understand.
Yes.
And that person is crying everywhere. Yes. They've given 24 hours.
Who?
I don't know.
It's Comrade Japan.
No, but he hasn't said you, but he said he can raise it. But he thinks it's not right.
You didn't follow the discussions up to today.
He's challenging it
because you didn't follow the discussion up to today. The man is saying that that type of money, he never saw it.
Yes.
Oh, how? The man is saying that he wasn't in that category. So he alone. And they gave it, how can they, did they give this other people 24 hours?
48 hours.
48 hours. They quickly paid. But I don't know whether today is the day they
so they've given him,
I don't know whether
they've given 48 hours.
Yes. I don't know whether today he will be able to do it. So,
have you spoken to him?
He need 4,000 people to raise 1,000 Ghana cedis each for him, and then you have the 4 million.
Why is he going to get that 4,000? So, when the MPP...
But he's been in government before.
When was that? When
the topic,
So, when the MPP make those outrageous fees charges, they know the contestants and they know what they are capable of raising. So leave the MPP aside. They are in a different world.
But that is unfair.
No, you see, when we are talking about corruption, you don't talk about the devil himself. They are in a different world. We are talking about these matters in Parliament. How do we check that? Look, no amount of religious prayers can stop corruption. You can go to mosque 5 times a day, it won't stop corruption.
NSPPD?
You can do everything.
What God cannot do, cannot...
Now, what you can do...
What God cannot do does not exist.
No, the church, church, mosque don't stop corruption. What stops corruption is making it...
you know, the lady who has been jailed. Oh.
I'm saying...
Agrada cannot...
No shrine too can stop corruption. Because you mentioned the name, I'm just going there. What can stop corruption is to make corruption a high-risk venture. He mentioned it. A high-risk venture. And there must be a no-nonsense attitude towards it. A no-nonsense attitude towards it.
Yeah.
Indeed, you know, we missed an opportunity during the Rawlings regime. That was when we should have dealt a heavy blow to corruption, but we missed it. How we missed it, I don't know, but we missed it. You need a leader who would ensure, and I hear the president preaching that on Tuesday at home, who would ensure that persons who are caught in that web are not allowed to escape. And if they are not allowed to escape, they go to jail. And when they go to jail, others will see. And at that point, you begin to see that people will be changing their lifestyle. Look, do you know that when Martin Amidu was appointed as a special prosecutor, the refrain in most ministries was that, hey, I don't want Martin Amidu to call me. Oh, I don't want Martin Amidu to call me. Oh. That was the refrain in the ministries. Because they know there's a no-nonsense person. Corruption doesn't like pampering, no? Because when you pamper corruption, in fact, it will turn around to consume you. You, the one who is pampering it. It will turn around. Because there's so much money that, apart from God, you can literally pay everybody out. So, you need a selfless leader who will say that, look, I am going on this trajectory and I'm going to ensure that I nail it. Okay. That's how to do it.
And don't tell me wrap up. They've all spoken.
Yeah, you have only 3 minutes.
No, don't go down that route. Don't go down that route. You never tell them.
No, we don't have the time. So you have only 3 minutes.
Them to wrap up. So don't tell me to wrap up. You never told them they have 3 minutes. Look, all the things we are saying. If you can't enforce the law, forget it. Simple. Enforcement of law. Forget it. And you know where enforcement and law starts from? Huh? Roland, you know where it starts from? The streets. The streets. You can't enforce laws on the streets where drivers are breaking traffic rules. Then how can you enforce laws in some of these big crimes that are going on? And I ask the question, at the dawn of independence, Ghana was a rich country, wasn't it?
Yes.
We had a leader, didn't we?
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Yes. When
at the time we were equated to Malaysia.
When the leader was overthrown, what did we find he had?
Nothing.
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 Absolutely zilch. Nothing.
Even Rawlings has nothing.
Why can't we follow it, and why haven't we been able to follow that kind of a leader? Why? So it's inherent in us. Materialism is inherent in us. The fact that, do it right. I'm not saying materialism is bad, but do it right. And not because they put you in a certain position, use that position to now sit on people's necks and make it feel as if you have earned the money. We should all talk about it. And sometimes, AB says mosque and Christianity, we don't preach corruption. That is where we should start from. That is where we should start from. The big man who has walked into church and come to take a seat up there, the priest preaching should ask him directly, Mr. Jantwa, where did you get your money from? In the midst of everybody. Because we've got to be intentional if we're going to stop corruption. And if you're not intentional, and we pussyfoot around it and make it look as if, hey, this one, you can't touch him. Oh, this one, he's in my party, so leave him. Then what are we doing? We're doing absolutely nothing. And that is why I say, and Prof says he doesn't think that we are in trouble if I say nothing could be done. President Mahama has said what? He wants a fast track to Nsawam. It should be seen to happen, but remember, and the boy, I come to you when you talk about it is the individual who should prove. In law, one is innocent until proven guilty. So although you might see that Kwame Jantwa has actually dipped his hands in the coffers, they are taking him to court. You've got to be able to prove I'm guilty.
But Kwame, that is why I said we are over practicing democracy and the rule of law. Because elsewhere, they also practice democracy, but they have retroactive laws, and even some of the burden are now on the individuals, not on the state.
Listen, elsewhere, the law works.
Yeah.
So let's make it work.
Elsewhere, will we make it work? Will we make it work?
We have no option, Nana.
But will we make it work?
How do we make it work?
We should change the mindset. How can a motorbike, just because it's a small motorbike, decide to drive on the wrong side of the road? Just because it's a small motorbike, go to another country and try and do it. Even bicycle. In some countries, if you drive the wrong side, if you ride the wrong side, you'll be arrested. Why does it happen in our country? And let me give you another example. Our politicians, what car do they drive?
Land Cruisers.
Land Cruisers. When they drive the Land Cruisers, when they drive the Land Cruisers, what is inside? Wahoo, no be so? So people also go and buy the Land Cruisers. And what do? They also put wahoo in.
You mean even the ordinary folks?
Yes.
Even pastors?
Yes. They put sirens in. And the police who are standing on the road. Yes, wahoo, that's what it does. The police who are standing on the road, who are supposed to check, just because that person is sitting in a four-wheel drive, he assumes that that person is a public figure, so he can't stop him. Public figure or no public figure, you should be able to stop anybody who is going against the traffic laws. And if you are not able to do that on the streets, how would we be able to solve the big crimes?
Okay, thank you.
You see, you've gone there again.
Yeah.
It is up to
I gave it 3 minutes, use 5 minutes.
It is up to all of us. It's not only up to the politician. It's up to all of us to change the system.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about 4.5, only 8.
Felicia
4.6 million.
Abani, wishing you all the best for the day. I know that you live in the Afram place.
You know that our party is coming up very soon. Do you know that, Papa Ro?
I don't understand.
I'm saying that our party movement, we are transiting.
To NPP?
To register as a political party?
No. Now our political, by next week, Ghanaians will hear about us.
All right, let me congratulate a number of individuals. Thank you, Professor Okukunchi, as well as Ebo Bachman. When I first knew him, he was an MPP member. He's one of the disappointed. If he was there, he couldn't have paid the 4 million.
If he stayed there,
if he was
4.6 million. Pablo is running away.
I think it's 4.5, right? He paid
4.6 for filing.
And then, of course, lawyer Kwame Jantwa. It's been a while. I've seen him. So of the CPP, the son of Jantwa.
F.A. Jantwa.
F.A. Jantwa. Yes. Okay, and then of course the Director General, Governor General
one and only
of the National Road Safety Authority,
aka
Lawyer Abraham Amaleba. Let me say good morning also to all those who will be called to the bar this morning. I have Esther.
Let's congratulate
Esther Pretty Doe. Now Esther.
He will hear you by now. He's busy.
Now Esther Brew also to be called to the bar by God's grace, and then also Joseph Akable, you'll be called to the bar. Congratulations to you.
From your team.
3FM, we have a lead producer there as well. So congratulations, Joseph Akable. 62's Don Ulo.
But you didn't read any of
the messages.
Yes.
Oh, I have some nice. Sixu Don Ulotu will be called to the bar.
Oh,
and so it's hard work, I am told.
Very hard work.
Before you be called to the Ghana bar.
No, I'm blame.
I'm told that. So, and then also the Council of States member representing the Volta region, Gabriel Komiga, at top play as well. Wishing you all the best for the day. Great guy, great man. And all those who tend to watch us as well were grateful. I have a couple of messages, so let me just quickly go through. Okay, so more importantly, I have this one from Sheikh Abubakar Napari, who says that it is important that we discourage people from being corrupt. And then Mani also sends a message, just that one to me was being taken to Iyoko. See the youth all going through. But all right, so we're taking a break. We'll be right back. Not before we tell you that if you want to look smart and fashionable, visit any Woodin boutique nationwide today. Woodin offers amazing collection of authentic African fabrics and ready to wear, all coming in beautiful designs and colors for men and women. And so with Woodin, you get to be creative and versatile with your designs. You also get to be confident and show off how truly African you are in Woodin. Go to a Woodin boutique near you today and choose from their variety of trendy products to complement your style. So follow them across social media. Woodin Fashion, they're always available, okay? We're taking a break. We'll be right back.